Today's class is going to be very helpful to you. Hello guys, this is Prakash Bhaiya and I welcome you in RankUp Classes. So basically today Nirja is going to narrate some extra questions and the answers. What you need to do is after she done narrating, let's say question number 1, question number 2, just pause the video and read aloud the answers to yourself. These questions are designed in such a way that they have high probability that they can come in your exams. So let's start our chapter.
Question 1. How has the lost child's anxiety and insecurity been described? Answer. His anxiety and insecurity have been described through his reaction to his realization that he was lost. Tears rolled down his cheeks, his throat became dry, his face flushed and convulsed with fear, and he ran in all directions in panic without knowing where to go. Question 2. Why does the lost child lose interest in the things that he had wanted earlier? Answer. He lost all interest in the things that he had wanted earlier because he felt fearful and insecure at being separated from his parents, and all he wanted was to be reunited with them. Question 3. What do you think happens in the end? Does the child find his parents? Answer. The child is reunited with his parents, who are also searching for him, and find him crying in a stranger's lap. Question 4. Why was the fair being held in the village? Answer. It was being held to celebrate the spring season. Question 5. What tells us that the little boy was excited about going to the fair? Answer. The fact that the little boy has been described as brimming over with life and laughter tells us that he was happy and excited to be going to the fair. Question 6. Compare the reactions of the father and mother at the child's request for a toy. Answer. The father glared at him angrily in his familiar tyrant's way while the mother looked at him tenderly and diverted his attention from the toys. Question 7. What made the mother caution the child? Answer. The fact that the child had wandered off into the mustard field trying to catch a butterfly made the mother call out to him to come back onto the footpath. Question 8. What was the boy engrossed in when his parents sat in the shade of a grove, near a well? Answer. The boy was engrossed in watching little insects and worms that were teeming out along the footpath. Question 9. What diverted the child's attention from the shower of flower petals in the grove? Answer. The cooing of doves diverted the child's attention from the raining flower petals. Question 10. How did the boy react on nearing the village where the fair was being held? Why? Answer. He felt both attracted and repelled at the sight of the large number of people who had converged at the village to enjoy the fair. Question 11. Why did the child not ask his parents to buy him the burfi? Answer. The child knew that his parents would not listen to his request and would call him greedy for wanting. Question 12. Why did the child move away from the flower seller without asking his parents for a garland? Answer. He was aware that his parents would refuse to buy him a garland and say that they were cheap. Question 13. Why did the child not ask his parents to buy him balloons even though he was fascinated by them? Answer. He knew his parents would say that he was too old to play with the balloons, so he did not ask his parents to buy them for him. Question 14. What made the child move on from the snake charmer? Answer. The child had been forbidden by his parents from listening to the music being played by the snake charmer, which they had termed as coarse, so he moved away from the snake charmer. Question 15. Where did the child finally decide to ask his parents to let him enjoy the delights at the fair? Why? Answer. At the roundabout, the sight of the machine in full swing with men and women shrieking, crying and laughing out aloud in excitement, encouraged the child to ask his parents to be permitted to ride the roundabout. Question 16. Where and how did the child meet his savior? Answer. The child met his savior near the entrance of a temple where he was almost at the point of being trampled under the feet of the jostling crowd. Question 17. How did the man try to quieten the crying lost child? Answer. He first took him to the roundabout, then to the snake charmer, next the balloon seller, after that to the flower seller, and finally to the sweetmeat seller, hoping to quieten the crying lost child. Question 18. How was the boy's reaction to the attractions of the fair different after getting separated from his parents? Answer. He lost all interest in the attractions of the fair and kept crying for his parents. Question 19. Do you think the title of the story is appropriate? Answer. Yes, the title appropriately captures the essence of the story. It highlights the plight of a little child who is lost in a fair, and it captures the emotions that the child goes through on being separated from his parents. It shows how the child who a moment ago is excited at the sights and sounds of the fair suddenly loses interest in all these sights once he realizes that he is lost. Here our short question-answer ends. Now let's discuss long questions and answers. Question 1. Describe in detail all the attractions that the child is drawn to till he gets lost in the fair. Answer. Right till the time he loses his parents, the child is attracted to it. Several things that he sees on his way. At first it is the toys being sold at the wayside shops. Then he is attracted to the dragonflies in the mustard field. Next he is drawn to the worms and insects on the footpath and the shower of flower petals and the cooing of the pigeons. On reaching the fair he is first tempted by the goodies being sold by the sweetmeat seller and then by the colorful balloons of the balloon seller. Next he is drawn by the sound of the snake charmer, and finally he is mesmerized by the roundabout with children and adults enjoying the rides. Question 2. Do you consider the child's behavior as depicted in the story normal? Give reasons for your answer. Answer. Yes, the child's behavior was normal. The story very clearly depicts the behavior of a young child who is attracted by everything he sees around him. The child is not only attracted to toys and sweets but also fascinated by the natural wonders of the world like dragonflies, pigeons, flowers and snakes. This is a reflection of the universal phenomenon of a child's attraction and fascination with the natural world. As mentioned in the story, the child is both repelled and fascinated by the colorful world around him, which is normal for any young child. The crowds and noise repel a child while the colorful world and the sights of the fair fascinate him. Question 3. The story describes certain attractions which may not be so attractive to a modern child. Can you pick up some of them from the story, The Lost Child? Answer. A modern city child has very little interaction with nature on a daily basis, unlike the lost child. They have very little possibility of being allowed to run wild in a yellow mustard field or being interested in doing so. Technology has taken away a lot of their time, and hence he or she does not have the time to run after dragonflies or butterflies or simply rejoice under the rain of flower petals from a gulmohar tree. With their exposure to amusement parks and water parks with mechanized rides and an artificially created ambience, they would probably not even feel comfortable in natural surroundings. However, if the child is allowed free rein to interact with nature, he/she would probably find the natural affinity that a human being has for nature and behave in the same manner as the lost child in the story. Question 4. Describe the character of the child as depicted in the story. Answer. The child is very young, innocent, and full of joy and energy. He finds everything around him exciting and fascinating, whether a dragonfly or toy displayed in a toy shop. Like any child, he is easily distracted, and his desires and interests keep on changing from sweetmeats to balloons to rides. He is not used to large crowds and is repelled and fascinated by them. His whole world revolves around his parents, and he is deeply affected at his separation from them. He is obedient and disciplined and does not throw a tantrum to get his object of desire. He fears his father and approaches his mother whenever he is tempted by any of the objects he sees during his journey to the fair and at the fair itself. Question 5. How does the child in the story lose himself? How far is he responsible for his predicament? Answer. The child is wholly responsible for his predicament because at every stage we find him wandering off after one attraction or the other in spite of repeated instructions from his mother not to do so. Initially we find him staring down in front of the wayside toy shops. Next he wanders off into the mustard fields, chasing dragonflies. Then he slows down to admire the insects and worms that line the footpath. After that he gets distracted by the rain of flower petals and the cooing of the doves and has to be pulled back to the main road by his mother. On entering the fair he again slows down in front of the sweetmeat seller, the flower seller, the snake charmer and the roundabout before realizing that he is completely on his own.